Welcome to Destination Animation, your trip around the world of cartoons and anime, stop motion and puppetry, special effects and CGI, and everything in between. I'm your host, Becca McGraw.
And I am your host, Carrie Dreblo.
And I'm your host, Jason Knott. This summer, we have a double feature of Toy Story 4 and Disney's The Lion King.
2019!
A new wind is about to blow. Da-na-na.
Blow is right!
In a world. Hey, Becca, are you closer?
Huh?
Are you seem closer to me for some reason.
Yeah, too, yeah. What is this? What is this?
Yeah, if you're like touching me, you can touch my face, I can touch yours. Anyway.
Listeners, we've been away for like a month. Or more. I'm not sure when the Detective Pikachu episode dropped.
Who even knows?
Because Carrie is very bad at keeping up with podcast editing.
Shh, it's fine.
I'm the one who edits. You can just have plausible deniability.
Yes. Yes. We've been heckin' busy on all ends. Jason and Becca, that's me, record in the same room now. That's pretty exciting.
That's pretty exciting.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
That means we get to see the movies together.
We do.
That's the only part that's relevant to the podcast.
Yeah, so anyway.
Pretty awesome, though.
Yes.
Pretty awesome.
But yeah, so Disney kind of just taking control of the box office. Like, this entire summer was super bad for the box office, and then Toy Story 4 and The Lion King 2019 both, like, made $1 bajillion.
Well, speaking of Disney, though, is their whole docket this year sequels and remakes?
Yes.
Well, there's your answer, listeners.
Yeah, it really is.
What did we have so far? Dumbo, Aladdin, Lion King, Toy Story 4, Frozen 2.
Maleficent 2, The Season of the Witch.
I'm so glad we don't have to talk about that one.
Aladdin was a thing that I've already forgot about came out this year, even though we did an episode on it.
Yes.
So much stuff.
Hey, I thought you guys liked that movie.
Don't look at me like that. I can make comments like that now.
I'm calling you out. I was alone.
It's a movie that the more I've thought about it, the less I've remembered it. That movie, okay. That movie had more positives about it than I'm like, okay, I'm glad I saw this in live action than, like, okay, I don't want to do spoilers for my opinion on The Lion King yet, but,
Well, best way to avoid spoilers, I guess, is to get right in it. And, well, like our gracious host Jason said, will be a double feature. And like any good theater-going trip, we gotta start with the concession stand.
The concession stand?
Let's go out to the lobby. Let's go out to the lobby. Let's go to the lobby
to get ourselves a treat.
and participate in capitalism.
Yeah.
Yes! We don't have this as a segment in the podcast.
This could be like a good segment if we had like sponsors. But
ooh, that'd be cute.
No, we're not that famous yet, so let's move on to the trailers.
I'd like to thank our sponsors, our mom, who is letting us record this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Our mom, my mom.
Your mom.
It'd be a problem if she was our mom.
And my Facebook friends who make up, like, probably 80% of my audience.
Yes.
And the 3 people on my Patreon, besides you 2.
Yeah.
Woo! Ooh.
And the 5 people who read my blog.
Yeah. Hitting the big time. Maybe if I'd advertise on my Cheetah King 243 YouTube channel, we could actually, like...
Gee, I wonder which of the 3 of us has the biggest following. Carrie. But enough.
Anyway.
Alright, we've picked up our concessions, so I guess we sit down in the darkening theater to take in our double feature. And we
Coming soon to a theater near you.
Yeah. Let's talk about trailers for some upcoming animated things.
Most of them by Disney.
Most of them by, well, on this list, only half of them by Disney. So what trailers did you guys see? Nothing really, I don't think anything new was attached to either. I guess, was Onward? Did that trailer premiere with Toy Story 4?
It might have.
Yeah,
I forget.
I think we talked about it on Aladdin, though, because I think it dropped online for Aladdin. Did we already talk about it, Carrie? Do you remember?
I don't think we talked about it.
Okay, well, let's talk about Onward. So that's
we can just edit it out if we did.
Or we can just not. No one's listening anyway. Onward, Pixar's upcoming film for 2020, right?
Yes.
Yes.
It's about modern day fantasy setting. I feel like we talked about it because I feel like I remember saying I like the look of the setting. And
Yeah.
it looks like
Okay, yeah, I do remember that now.
bright but soft. Next movie.
Yes.
Frozen 2 I don't think we've really talked about yet, or haven't talked about since the teaser dropped at least.
We have a little more in this new teaser. We got Trolls, and we got new dress for Elsa.
Horses. Imagery of horses, which is
Stone giants from the first Hobbit movie.
Can I be the first to say that the Frozen 2 whole situation looks like way baller so far?
Heck yeah.
Is that a good thing?
Yes, yeah. Baller's good, you white boy.
I'm balling, so I'm taking my time on my ride. Anyway.
See?
Okay.
Yeah, it looks...
Well, I'm gonna take my horse to the Old Town Road. Anyway.
Well, yeah, that's irrelevant, because there is horses in this trailer.
There are horses in this trailer.
Weird ghostly ones. What's that about? We don't know yet.
Wendigos?
Wendigos. Ooh.
Probably not.
Isn't that a My Little Pony thing?
No, Wendigos are like ancient
I know what
creatures.
a Wendigo is. You're saying Wendigo.
Oh,
I'm Googling
well,
it.
Don't grammar correct me.
Wendigo. Well, Wendigo, MLP.
Oh, well, they're spelled the same way.
No, it's not.
You know.
Oh, Wendigo. Wind horses from My Little Pony.
You know.
You brony. Get out of my house.
It's Wendigo, potato. Anyway, Frozen 2.
Frozen 2. Did you have thoughts, Carrie?
I think it almost looks like a big, epic, sweeping, like, world-building fantasy, and I am all for it.
It looks like The Lord of the Rings. In a good way. I'm not saying that to knock it.
Yeah.
Like, it actually looks like there's kind of, like, something out of balance in the Frozen world, and they have to go on this epic quest to fix it, and it looks pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie.
I wish it had, like, a subtitle, like a proper title, instead of just the two.
Yeah. Frozen, Too Fast, Too Furious.
Wendigo of Change. It's interesting because, man, if there's one movie Disney could have just phoned in a sequel for, it was definitely Frozen. It would have made $1 billion
And
anyway.
they would have if this was the 90s.
Yes. But it looks like they're actually doing something really cool, and I'm really looking forward to it. That's November, right?
November.
Yes.
Yeah, legit, this is the only Disney sequel announcement in, like, the past 10 years that I've been legitimately excited for. I really want to see this.
I think this is the first Disney sequel announcement since, like, 1939 I've been excited about.
You weren't excited for The Rescuers Down Under?
I never seen The Rescuers until after I saw Down Under.
Okay, actually, I guess I was excited for Incredibles too, so yeah.
That's
like,
Pixar.
Well, it's same difference now. Disney owns everything, so everything is Disney.
It's true, but they don't own our next trailer, Angry Birds 2.
Oh yeah, that's the one thing they don't know.
Yeah, I don't... Yeah.
I mean, you got that one lady from SNL as the new bird, and...
Aren't they all from SNL? Isn't that what these kinds of movies do?
Basically.
All
Not
right.
to knock the SNL people, but...
We're knocking these kinds of movies. Listeners...
I'm fine with SNL people, but...
Listeners, we are 3 people around 30 years old who have a lot of opinions about cartoons. And cartoons like Angry Birds 2 do not sate our tastes.
No.
Yeah, like, this looks like exclusively it was made for a younger audience. Like, I mean, the plot looks completely not serious. There were a lot of toilet humor type things.
Okay, first of all, I'm surprised that the first Angry Birds movie happened like 10 years after everyone stopped caring about Angry Birds. And then a sequel happened, so that's weird.
When even was that movie? 2016? The first one?
Way too late for the Angry Birds craze, either way.
I played Angry Games like once. I downloaded it on my like old phone, and I'm like, well, I'm never playing this again.
Yeah, it's fine. Like, I know kids liked it, so it made sense to make a movie, but it took so long.
It was a big thing back in like 2010, 2011, so
yeah,
a little bit late.
It's weird how long it took, and I never liked the character design. That's just me. I always thought it looked stupid.
How could you knock such iconic characters as the red pigeon thing, and the fat pigeon thing, and the Josh Gad pigeon thing?
I find they look cute in the game. I don't like the way they kind of anthropomorphize them that way. I don't like it.
That's fair.
Does anyone else have anything to say about Angry Birds 2?
It's a thing that exists.
Yeah, not watching it, obviously. I didn't see the...
Yeah. I guess the last trailer that I put in the notes was for Spies in Disguise. What studio is that? Blue Sky?
Blue Sky, now owned by Disney.
Really?
Yeah, 20th Century Fox.
Oh, that's true.
So everything's owned by Disney now.
Except Angry Birds 2. Wow.
That's not a good thing.
But we're not that kind of podcast.
No.
We are talking about Disney's artistic output and not getting into the capitalistic monopoly part of it.
Except when we're at the concession stand. Spies in Disguise.
I did not see this trailer, so I can't comment.
Oh,
Fresh hell.
Yeah, okay. So, you didn't see the trailer. So, Will
Oh, wait,
Smith...
no, you're right. Okay, yeah. The guy turned into a pigeon. Oh.
Yes. So, Tom Holland's in this movie, and he's also in Onward, and he looks identical.
Yeah, they're the same.
The character design is identical. It's the same voice actor. It's kind of hilarious.
It's Linguini, like 10 years younger.
Yeah.
It's a little weird.
I don't know if I'll see this one unless it somehow gets stellar reviews.
Yeah, and like the trailer we saw in front of Lion King was like, what was it?
I don't know.
It started out with like, you know how you're the best spy in the world, everyone knows your name. I'm like, what? No. That's not how you're the best spy in the world. If everyone knows your name, you're dead.
Sometimes you wanna be the spy whose name everyone knows.
No, you don't. This isn't like
Sometimes
James Bond.
You gotta be the spy that everyone knows your name. do. Going stealth and making the. My lyrical prowess is failing me.
Yeah, so this movie's nothing. But I forgot to add a trailer to the list. Something that Twitter got excited about was, I just linked it in the Discord, Carrie, new trailer for a CGI Lupin the Third movie, which...
Lupin.
Oh,
Lupin.
yes. I did see that.
I didn't watch it yet, so can you pause it for us? Well, don't actually pause the recording, Jason. I just have to watch it real quick.
Yeah.
Because there's discussion to be had here.
Quickly, my opinion of Spies in Disguise is, like, it seems fine. Not really excited. Not really, like, this doesn't look terrible. It just looks like a thing that exists.
Yeah.
And now, Lupin the Third.
1 minute later.
Okay, we watched it.
I'm so excited that they're using the theme music that I like. Like the jazz thing.
Yeah. Alright, I was concerned when they said this was CGI.
Yeah, I was telling you about it and you were like, oh no! Dang, it looks tasty though.
Yeah, I like.
Yeah, looks really good.
One thing that I did notice, they did a good job of capturing, like, there's this one thing in the Castle of Cagliostro where Lupin jumps from rooftop to rooftop. They kept that motion really, really similar, and I like it.
Is it not pronounced Lupin?
I
don't know, sorry.
It's Lupin.
Lupin.
I don't really know if it's Lupin or not. I just like saying it like that.
Anyway.
Technically, if we're going with, like, Japanese, it'd be, Rupin Sansei.
Rupin Sansei. So yeah, it's called Rupin the First. And it looks really cool. So the discussion, I guess, that I saw some people pointing out on Twitter is in, like, Western animation, you get Tom Holland looking identical in 2 movies. Meanwhile, in Japan, we're actually gonna, try something different with our character design.
Yeah. And, like, when you usually take, like, a 2D character and make it 3D, it looks just weird.
Yeah.
But they made it look really cool here.
Yeah. These characters look great.
They do, and the rendering is beautiful.
And the boobs bounce. Anyway.
Anyway.
I didn't notice that, but I'll trust you.
You didn't notice that?
You didn't notice that?
Anyway.
No, I didn't notice that. I'm sorry. That's
get your mind in the gutter, Terry.
That's my, like, demisexual oblivious self-talking.
Nah, everything about that looks like a lot of fun.
It looks really cool.
Yeah. Any other... Ghibli Fest. Are we seeing Kiki this weekend?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and the Muppet movie came out for a 40th anniversary, but that's puppetry.
I didn't know about this.
It next showing is July 30th. So
what
we can
Muppet
still
movie?
the first one.
I know about it, but I didn't see it because I've already seen the Muppet movie in the big screen.
I
have not, and I want to see it.
All right, we'll probably see that.
Yeah, July 30th is the next one.
But yeah, Ghibli Fest is on, so listeners, please get out to your theater, find the show times for all the beautiful Studio Ghibli movies. We saw Whisper of the Heart. You did as well, right, Carrie?
Yes, I had to see one of my favorite movies in the big screen. I love that movie.
We saw it in Japanese.
We did.
For the first time.
Yes.
Yes.
With the unedited ending. It really resonated with me this time when I watched it. It got to me. It got to me.
Yeah, I love that movie. It's one of my top 5.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, my friend Sarah, who I saw the movie with, she, there was that scene where she's petting the cat, and she's like, "You're not very nice, are you, cat? Neither am I." And she was like, oh boy, I feel that.
Oh, that's what I was feeling too. We won't get into it today.
That's for a therapist.
Yes.
Today on the Destination Animation podcast, we are delving into the psyche of
Sigmund Freud, get out of here.
Get out of here. Animation pun, Sigmund Freud. Anyway, so I guess after the trailers, normally in a Pixar film, like Toy Story 4, we'd be watching a short. There was no short.
No short this time.
I know, what the heck? They didn't do a short with The Incredibles 2 either, but they
did.
That, like...
They did.
They did. It was,
Bow.
Bow. That's right.
Okay, I'm an idiot. Never mind.
You're not an idiot, you just forgot.
Yeah.
Um,
Bow, the incredibly easy to understand short that no one understood, apparently.
yeah.
Or, I'm sorry, that white people didn't understand.
Oh! Yeah, so there was no short. That was weird. But we have neglected to talk about for months now that Pixar has been doing something on YouTube called Spark Shorts.
Yes.
Where they
love
seem to
them.
be... Yes, they seem to
very
be
good.
a little more experimental. I think the idea is to let some of their fledgling directors kind of test the waters. Last time I looked, there's only been 3 so far. Pearl, which the internet got mad at because it used the word ass. Smash and Grab, which I think it's the one that everyone kind of breezes over. It's fine, but it's... Yeah. And then Kit Bull, which made me cry.
Yeah, Kit Bull is very much the traditional Pixar short. I was about to say Shakespeare for some reason.
I love Kit Bull so much. It's so adorable and...
I knew where they were going with it, and I got really upset.
Yeah.
Listeners, I won't spoil it. But just go look up Pixar Spark Shorts on YouTube.
On
Check
the
them out.
tube.
Yeah, I hope they continue to do this.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, like Kit Bull, for example, like was a completely different style than what Pixar usually does, which they sometimes would play within shorts as it is. So
Yes.
Yeah, this was a very cool mix of 2D and 3D. So the characters are drawn in 2D, but I don't know, they used a similar, not quite Paperman, but like
yeah.
It had a very distinct visual that mixed it similar to Paperman.
Yeah, it looked like a storybook. So, okay, so we're past the short, past the trailers. We've picked up our popcorn. It's time to watch the first of our 2 movies.
And now, our feature presentation. Da!
And
now, like the 40-second Disney logo.
Yeah. 40 seconds of logos. Ding.
Here's the sound of the Pixar lamp.
No! That's the eye being killed. Anyway.
I was really choked up within like the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, right out the gate.
Yeah, they went hard.
Not even with just the feels, but like the animation when it started raining, it's like, whoa.
Oh, man.
Like the rain on the toys and the light reflected on RC when they got the flashlight on him and in the rain. And
we should have watched the first movie again. This would have been a really good comparison to like, see how actually convenient for Pixar to have made this sequel, because we can compare the first ever CGI animated movie to like the most recent and see how the difference, like what's happened within 20 years. A lot.
It is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like the textures in this with the rain they got it, the water effects, the lighting through the blinds in the bedroom window, and
Bo Peep's face looks normal.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. There was a cool video. We should link it in the description or something about like how they had to learn how to light porcelain properly. Finally.
Yeah. Finally.
It
only took it 25 years.
19.
Yeah, Bo Peep
19?
looked like she was made of plastic in the
25.
original, and now she looks like
30.
very much porcelain.
29. Carrie, how long's it been?
Since Toy Story, actually, it would be like less than
1995, so it has been almost 24 years.
24, yeah.
24. We're both bad at math.
Anyway.
Yeah, Bo Peep, those sheep, they were missing from the third movie.
Yeah, they were.
And, well, now we get to see what happened. That's what this movie's kind of about. But before that, spoilers for the ending of Toy Story 3. The toys are with a new kid, and she's about to go to kindergarten. Woody is having some kind of inferiority complex over not being head toy anymore.
But not as bad as, like, it was in the first movie.
Yeah.
He doesn't kill.
Yeah, he's not like, I'd say he's more like kind of resigned than he is like, it's a different feel.
Yeah, it's a new like dichotomy, I guess, for lack of a better term, because like technically Dolly is the leader of Bonnie's room, and he's used to being the leader, so he, like, you know, gives orders and such, but, like, he doesn't really need to.
Yeah.
And he's kind of passed over in favor of, like, Jessie as the sheriff toy, so.
Yeah, it's more like his purpose has been fulfilled. And now what?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. It is interesting. This is a note that I had. Like, this movie kind of goes back to the themes from the first movie and almost, like, answers them in a way that, like, the third movie kind of didn't, almost. So, like, well, I don't know. The third movie had its own conclusion where it was like, all right, well, now the toys are with a new person, where with this one it's like, so now we're answering the question of the original movie with what happens when there is not a child who cares about you anymore. What do you do then?
Yeah. Pretty deep themes for a heckin' movie about toys.
Yeah.
This isn't real life.
And the last one, all the toys almost died.
Yes.
It was terrible.
That was some real there.
Whoa, bleep that. Alright, so Bonnie goes to kindergarten. Woody thinks, oh, now's my chance to, I don't know, do something. That's the thing, he wants to do something. There's nothing left for him to do. Oh, I relate to that. Just, like, the feeling of having no control and just, like, let me do something.
Yeah.
So he goes to kindergarten with her, and she ends up making a new toy. Well, she makes a Forky. What's a Forky, Jason?
No one knows.
Carrie, what's a Forky?
Basically, Bonnie has trouble fitting in with the other kids, and she sits on her own, and Woody throws some pipe cleaners and a spork and clay and popsicle sticks out of the garbage, and she makes a fork with pipe cleaner hands and...
Spork.
Forky!
And little feet, little sticks.
Yeah.
And she writes her name on his sticks, and he comes to life. And it's weird.
It's
Happy
weird.
birthday!
No, he comes in the world screaming.
He does.
Like a real baby. Ah!
Oh, it raises a lot of questions.
It raises a lot of questions that are not answered, but not answered in a fun way.
Yeah.
See, I feel like we don't really need them answered. That's not
No.
the point. It's just...
Yeah, that's not the point. But at the same time, it's like, what? Oh my god. So yeah, Forky hates being a toy. He just wants to be trash. He wants to go back in the garbage can. I'm trash.
Hashtag mood 2019.
Trash. I'm the trash man.
No! So Forky becomes Bonnie's new favorite toy. So Woody kind of takes it upon himself, because Forky keeps trying to throw himself away.
And he can't let him.
No, he can't let him.
He can't let him.
Throw himself away.
Throw yourself away. That's the Randy Newman hit single of the summer.
Hit single. Alright. Are you sure it's not Spirit from The Lion King?
Spirit.
We'll get to that.
Spirit.
We'll get to that. So Bonnie and her family go on a road trip, bring Forky. Forky tries to escape. Forky jumps out of the heckin' RV.
Yeah.
And Woody's gonna go catch him. They end up at a carnival. They end up in an antique shop. And there, Woody is reunited with... Does this happen yet?
What?
Yes, he is... No, this doesn't happen yet.
He sees Bo Peep's old,
old
lampstand.
Yeah, that's why he goes into the antique shop.
Yes. And they are not yet reunited, because first they meet a baby doll.
Gabby.
Gabby.
One of those old howdy doody dolls, I guess.
And her hecking creepy ventriloquist dummy minions.
Yeah, Slappy from Ghostbusters.
Slappy from Ghostbusters. Slappy from Goosebumps.
Oh. I always do that.
Goosebumps in my house. I was terrified of ventriloquist dummies as a kid, and they're really scary in this movie.
Yeah, the first time I saw this was with, like, my mom and sisters, and the scenes where the dummies would, like, lunge at the camera, Mom was like, oh no!
They were animated.
She was, like, shielding herself, and I didn't blame her.
They were so scary. Their mouths would just, they wouldn't talk properly. Their mouths would just kind of hang open.
They wouldn't talk at all.
Yeah. Well, they whispered to Gabby at one point.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it was this weird thing where, like, they kind of mixed the ventriloquist dummy thing with almost, like, the mannequin thing, so it's like their arms didn't quite move right, and their heads didn't quite have the right kind of tension to be holding them up on their own. It was, so unsettling.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, like, the choice of music for the introduction scene is very, very, very good.
I don't remember it.
The Shining.
Whoa.
Midnight and the stars and you.
Mm.
They really love The Shining in the Toy Story series.
Oh, they do, though.
Come play with us, Woody, forever and ever.
Basically, that's what happens. So, Gabby's like the boss of all these dummies, and she really wants Woody's his voice box that his pull string is attached to, because hers is broken.
Yeah, and they were made around the same time in, like, the 1950s.
Yeah. There's that old theory that, like, Woody's an old toy belonged to Andy's dad, and that's why he was so special to Andy.
Yeah.
Quite possibly.
Andy's dad, who's not around for one reason or another.
It's Disney.
Dead, divorced, who knows?
Parents disappear, and we don't know why.
Woody does not want to give up his voice box on account of it's sewn into him. Like, Gabby can just open her Velcro and take hers out, but Woody's is sewn right in. So he's like, no thanks. So they end up, Gabby and her cronies end up kidnapping Forky, and Woody ends up reunited with Bo Peep, who, what's her deal, one of you?
Her deal is that years and years ago at the beginning of the movie, she was given away to another family. And then, like, in the, 9 years that followed, she's basically been sold to this antique store and was sitting on the shelf for too long, and she's like, nah, screw this, and decided to go her own way.
She went her own way.
Went her own way.
You can find it another lonely day.
Let's not get copyright struck.
Is this what this podcast is today?
Yes.
Just singing random songs.
Why not?
Yeah, one of the things that Bo Peep says is, like, yeah, kids grow up, it happens, and, you know, it's, like, her philosophy is basically, oh, there's plenty of kids out there. Why would you want to be in one kid's room when you could have all this? And there's, like, this big panning shot of the wilderness and this beautiful carnival scene.
Yeah. Bo Peep's kind of a badass. She's embraced being a lost toy, and she, like, helps other lost toys. And
she shed her pink polka dot sheep dress.
Her bonnet.
Yeah, her bonnet's gone. She lost her arm.
On the island of unwanted toys. Sorry.
Yes. And so Woody, what does Woody want? Woody wants Forky back, because Bonnie needs Forky.
Buzz goes after Woody and, like,
Buzz
takes the whole inner voice thing way too literally.
Yes. That's his gag.
Yeah, there's kind of split opinions on that, where some people think it's funny and others is like, oh, they dumbed down Buzz's character so much.
He was always pretty dumb.
Yeah. I kind of got that sense, but it was also funny, so it didn't bother me too much.
Yeah.
I did think the inner voice thing was funny.
They meet Ducky and Bunny, a couple of carnival prize toys.
They are Key and Peele. I'm sorry, Carrie, I, doubted you a few episodes ago.
No, they
Dost
are
thou doubteth my wisdom?
But, who was it? Jordan Peele said that was his second favorite bunny in a movie this year.
Right. This is not an Us podcast, but it could be.
It could be.
I still have to see that movie.
Ah, you do, though.
Yes, I do.
It's so good. Shenanigans ensue, and...
Yeah, more characters are introduced, like Duke Kaboom.
Oh, and the little Polly Pocket. What was her name? Officer Giggles?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's so cute.
I love this movie because it had... Like, I had Polly Pockets as a kid. This is the first time I watched a Toy Story and was like, I had that toy. There's the Polly Pocket. They had the Growing Up Girls dolls at the beginning of the movie. Or somewhere in the antique shop, I don't remember. And they had that weird rubber dinosaur with its mouth wide open in the arcade cabinet. Y'all ever had those? They're really dumb.
They sound familiar.
Yeah.
I think I had one of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm familiar with the toys that, were new in this movie, the ones that you, shot up.
Oh, yeah. What I put the Flutterby dolls. Those things are terrifying.
It is cool that we got to see all these different new toys. Like, a lot of the focus of this movie, just like the previous sequels, is, hey, here's these new toys, and this is what they do, and it's cool, and we get to, they're funny, and yeah.
Yeah. This whole movie was really funny.
It was.
And who else, show of hands, who doubted a Toy Story 4? Who said this is a stupid idea?
I doubted.
All of our hands are raised.
All of our hands are raised.
I'm a negative Nancy.
But who was pleasantly surprised?
Me.
Me too.
Yeah, I'll say that I was somewhat pleasantly surprised.
I
mean, I wasn't... Okay. I wasn't expecting it to be bad. I was like, all right, well, this is going to be good, but I'm afraid that it's going to be like, Finding Dory, or, like the other Pixar sequels where it's like, why did this have to exist? Where this one, no. I do think this took the story in a good direction and wrapped up the emotions of the franchise in a satisfying way.
I will say, I feel like Toy Story 3 is the better finale, but Toy Story 4 is a pretty good continuation.
I thought it was great. I don't know that... It's hard to say it was unnecessary, because I do really like the themes and stuff it touched upon.
I definitely don't think it was unnecessary, so I'm with you on that.
Yeah, no one would have missed it if this movie had never existed, because the trilogy wrapped up pretty well.
Yeah. But they did interesting things with the characters, and they did an interesting thing with the villain, and they did interesting
I really
things.
love what they did. Okay, let's put the spoiler warning up now.
Yep, spoiler warning. We got to talk about the deep themes.
Yeah,
Skip ahead if you're
we'll put
so inclined.
Yes.
For the YouTube video, yeah, just saying skip to the following time code, which is currently displaying at the bottom of the screen. Doop, doop, doop. If you want to skip ahead to The Lion King, and now we can continue with spoilers.
I really liked Gabby as a villain because she was completely 100% understandable.
Yeah, and genuine. Like,
yeah.
You feel like she's gonna, like, use what Forky tells her about Woody against Woody, but she's not doing it to be manipulative. She's doing it to understand, like, Woody and appeal to him.
Yeah.
It's just that her minions are super creepy.
Yeah. What you gonna do?
Yeah, it is also interesting, like, this movie kind of didn't have a, quote, villain. It's like Gabby is creepy and not necessarily good at communicating and stuff,
Yeah.
but...
Yeah.
You know, she doesn't have, like, bad intentions.
No, and you know what? The whole no real villains in Disney and Pixar has been annoying lately, and like the twist villains and everything.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it worked here for me.
Yeah.
I found she was more interesting as she was in if she had just been, you know, a cackling villain.
Yeah, definitely.
She has a different motivation, too. She doesn't hate kids like Prospector or Lotso did. She wants to be played with.
She loves kids.
Yeah.
Oh my heart. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So she's like pining for this specific kid the whole time, like the antique shop owner's granddaughter.
Yeah.
And finally she gets her voice box from Woody, gets this kid's attention, and she doesn't give a shit.
She's like, oh, nah.
Yeah. Oh,
like a real kid.
Oh, dear, do you want that doll? Nah.
Kind of like Bonnie.
Ouch.
So sad.
A little sad, yeah.
And it's a good thing. Like, they played it perfectly because, like, you are sympathetic to Gabby at this point. It's very, very carefully played.
Yeah.
Or, like, you feel for her. A lot of that comes down to the voice acting. Who played her?
What was her name?
Yeah, she has a very sweet voice, calming.
Christina Hendricks. She did a great job. Great performance.
Yeah, very good.
She kind of had that kind of creepy Stepford Smiler thing about her, but also genuine.
Yeah.
Like, it struck a good balance.
Yeah, it did.
Very good. Very good. What else?
How she eventually gets paired off with a kid is very good, too.
Yeah. We don't have to, like, spoil absolutely everything, but that was cute.
I do kind of want to ask a question, though. Like, what do you think? Where the theme of the movie was kind of, you don't need a kid to be happy, like, there's plenty of kids, where, I don't know, it's kind of like Gabby is rejected by a kid, and it seems like it's kind of confirming Bo Peep's hypothesis, but then she ends up with one kid, so... I don't know.
Well,
Consistency of themes, that was something that I wanted to discuss. I don't think that it's bad because it still emotionally resonates, but it was a little bit confusing to me.
well, I think you're right. Thematically, it's a little confusing, but on the flip side, realistically, there's not just one solution for everyone. Maybe someone like Gabby, who's been sitting in an antique shop for 50 years, she does need one kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hopefully she can stay with her for a long time to come.
Yeah.
But it's true. Eventually she won't have that kid anymore.
And Woody, who was a one-kid toy for years, branches out and tries something new at the end of this movie.
Yeah, and see, again, this is what I was talking about with, like, the byline from the original Toy Story, where for the first three movies, they don't really address the fundamental question of, well, what if you didn't have a kid? And it kind of, like, teases it, like, oh, no, I'm broken. Like, the kids aren't going to want to play with me anymore. I don't have value anymore. In this movie, Bo Peep has a broken arm, and she just kind of, like, tapes it back together and keeps going like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Where that would have been like the end of the world to the toys in Toy Story 2.
Yeah.
It's
And
true.
poor Duke Kaboom and, what was that kid's name?
Rajon.
Rajon.
Duke Kaboom. It was a commercial!
Yes, we Canada.
Duke Kaboom.
But yeah, like, this solves that original byline. So it's like, well, this is how you find purpose even if there isn't a kid that loves you. Like, you don't have to ask the questions of, well, like, what about all those toys that Andy didn't play with? Or, you know, like, this did feel like a very solid wrapping up of all of the themes of finding purpose.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Carrie's good at words.
Carrie are good at words.
Carrie, I'm smart.
I make good sounds with mouth.
Hell yeah, you do. So how about Woody's ending? What do you guys think of that?
I felt that was kind of rushed.
I didn't see. So
I
so
cried.
Yeah, how it ends, listeners, is Woody decides to leave all the toys behind and stay with Bo Peep and become a traveling lost toy. It kind of surprised me, because that really closes the door on the franchise to me.
Yeah.
Because, like, the franchise is Woody and Buzz, and now you've separated them. To infinity and beyond, they've been separated.
Yes. How dare you? No, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Again, that theme and Woody's character growth was one of the parts of the movie that I liked the most, because I was not expecting that to happen in this movie.
Yeah.
And that is the thing that did happen in this movie, is Woody actually grew as a character, and now it feels like his emotional journey is complete to self-happiness.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Very good. Oh, I wanted to give a shout out to the director, Josh Cooley. This is his feature directorial debut with Pixar. He's done a couple shorts before. Good job, Josh.
Yeah, Josh.
No pressure.
Writing this movie was, like, a mess, because it went through so many, like, script changes and writers. Rashida Jones quit because Pixar's environment was too, like, boys club. And the whole John Lasseter thing, he was gonna direct, but then, it came out that he was being a bit of a jerk. So
yeah, there's like 8 writers on this movie, never mind the screenplay also. So yeah.
I do feel like that shows. I feel like this movie, the ending was a little bit of a mess like the first 3 Toy Story movies are so tightly written, where this one, it doesn't quite feel like all of the emotional plot beats get to the climax at the exact right moment. So the ending's a bit sloppy, but
the whole Forky subplot is solved within, like, the first act, and I feel like you could have tied in the whole he finds, like, importance being Bonnie's favorite toy, like, through his talks with Gabby too.
Yeah, I agree. Because especially since they push Forky so hard in the marketing, but he ends up just kind of being the MacGuffin.
Yeah,
he's the MacGuffin.
Yeah, not so much a character.
Gotta get the thing and bring him back to the thing so that we can keep going towards the thing.
Yes.
His Tony Hale as Forky is amazing.
Very
though.
good. Inspired casting.
Very much so.
Yeah, the voice cast in this movie just did an excellent job all around. Like,
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves made me laugh my butt off.
The Combat Carls.
Yeah. Kudos to Pixar, too, for not recasting Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah.
It's noticeable that he doesn't talk much, because they're just recycling old voice clips of him, of Don Rickles, but I wouldn't do it any different, probably.
A lot of the characters don't talk much, though.
Yeah, there's too many characters and not enough of them.
It's a very, very Woody-centric movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, the side characters didn't get a whole lot to do.
To be fair, Toy Story has like 50 side characters.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we love them all.
We do, though.
We do. I'm gonna miss them, but hopefully that's the last we'll see of them.
We're gonna miss them, but goodbye.
They had a good Kingdom Hearts 3 world.
Yes.
Whatever you're talking about, I don't care.
I wouldn't mind seeing them do some more, like, of those, like, one-off shorts.
Yeah,
like, I don't want to
shorts,
see another
yes.
movie for sure, but the shorts were very fun. I liked those.
Yes.
Bunny and Ducky were really funny when they wanted to get the
They
key.
were.
That was the best part.
Oh god, yeah. Like, they would straight up wanted to murder the shop lady with laser eyes, and I was laughing my butt.
It was really funny and
so hard.
It was very good.
Okay, the resolution to that too, and touching upon toys moving in front of people without actually going there.
Yeah.
It's silly. Any last thoughts on Toy Story 4?
Very good.
Very good.
Yeah, like, I definitely think that this is a cut above the typical Pixar sequels that we've been seeing. Like, it has a reason to exist. It has a consistent world logic byline with character arcs. I do think it was a little bit sloppy, though, so...
Yeah.
Like I said before, we wouldn't have missed it if it hadn't have existed, like with Incredibles 2, where everyone was begging for it.
Yeah.
But a worthy sequel.
Indeed.
And that's the last Pixar sequel for a while.
Thank God.
Huzzah!
Before we move on with our double feature, I need a bathroom break. Be right back.
Bathroom break.
Bathroom break, I drink a lot of tea.
Yep, the customary intermission.
They should put more bathroom breaks during the movies. You know, Avengers Endgame, they didn't do that, even though it was very long. Avengers Endgame beat the previous highest grossing film of all time, which was an animated movie called Avatar by James Cameron, who can
Half
fight...
animated.
Fully animated! James Cameron can fight me on a boat.
Well, like, I'm not debating with you that it was animated. I'm just saying that there's live action bits too.
So was there in... something. So was there in The Lion King, apparently.
No,
Technically.
okay, Jon Favreau said there was one shot that was live action. I don't believe him.
Jon Favreau can fight me too, by the way.
Here's an interesting question, though. Why does Disney is pushing The Lion King as live action? They're saying that it's not going to be eligible for Best Animated Feature. But why is Dinosaur a part of their freaking animated canon? It's the same thing. It's animated CG characters on a live action background.
Is there even are the backgrounds live action? No,
yes.
They're not.
Oh, in this
are
movie?
they?
No, I don't think they are.
Some of them are.
I'm looking it up.
Yeah, Becca is looking up whether or not the backgrounds were live action.
Environments might be the word I'm looking for.
Environments.
This article from the LA Times says that all the environments were digital.
Okay, then I take that back. I don't know how the heck this was considered a live action movie.
Yeah, because they're trying to be snooty.
Yeah.
That seems to be the attitude.
Yeah, because the Jungle Book, which Jon Favreau also directed,
completely CGI.
Completely CGI except Mowgli.
Except for Mowgli, yeah.
Yeah, all the environments. So.
And not to knock that movie, the fact that it's all CGI is incredible.
Yeah, for sure. But yes, no, it's not live action. Stop calling it the live action Lion King. It's the Lion King remake or the
CGI
Lion King.
Lion King.
No, it's either Lion King remake or the Lion King 2019. It's not live action.
And you know what? Before we get into the nitty gritty about the plot, I will say the visuals are pretty good.
They're
for
pretty good.
For trying to be a photorealistic movie.
They're pretty good.
It's pretty close to real life, and you did a good job. Looking
at it, it looks amazing. But I would argue that these astounding visuals do not serve the story in oh wow, this amazing looking photorealistic visual really emphasizes this emotion that I want to feel.
Emotion is a good thing because there's very little emotion on the characters because of how photorealistic it is.
Yeah.
And certain scenes are really silly when you don't have the proper emotion.
Yeah.
Like
I'm
just gonna come out and say it. Spoilers, whatever. Watch the original.
Listen to our podcast about the original movie.
Oh, there you go. We had that. Yeah. And the one scene that made me really laugh was when Scar kills Mufasa. Not like it is in the animated movie where it still gives me goosebumps. It's like Mufasa's climbing up. He's like, "Oh, Scar, help me!" And Scar's like, "Oh, live the king!" And he smacks him. Yeah. Oh no!
I don't know about that one, folks.
Yeah, I feel like The Lion King is a beloved movie for all of us, so we are going to have opinions about this remake.
Yes.
I liked it in the sense that all I expected was The Lion King HD. That's all
Pretty
I expected.
much, yeah. That's same for me.
Yeah. I didn't, and that's what it was.
They didn't change a whole lot about the plot.
They changed nothing.
And the plot is, very, very good. That's one of the things I said when we watched the Broadway version. You know what? The plot of the Lion King is actually really good. I always knew that, but it took seeing it in another medium to be yeah, this holds up.
Oh, that's true. When we were recording the podcast episode for the 94 movie, we had talked about how we were going to see the Broadway show, and we have since then, so now we have that as a comparison point too.
Yeah.
Carrie, have you seen it
Yes,
before?
I've seen the Broadway show, and it's awesome, in my opinion.
Yes, it's incredible. It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen on stage.
Yeah.
And I've seen Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Shots fired, Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Fight me, Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Lin-Manuel Miranda. How you doing on that Little Mermaid remake?
Yeah.
I'm also kind of a super big fan of Julie Taymor, so.
Yes.
Oh yeah, she was a producer in this, wasn't she?
She was, I think.
Yeah.
She had something to do with it. Yeah, they do nothing different. They do nothing new, exciting, original compared to the original.
There's one or two scenes that are slightly different.
Yeah.
They kind of expand on how Nala left the Pride Lands, but
why didn't they include Shadowland?
They didn't.
Somebody respond to my yelling.
They didn't include Morning Report.
They didn't include
That's a plus.
He Lives in You. They didn't include freaking Endless Night. But I think Shadowland would have been a really good song to add to this one.
No, in this one we got Spirit!
Don't get me started.
The new Beyonce Knowles single.
It's funny, I was actually kind of okay with that.
Look, I got nothing against Beyonce, but they really pushed this single, and like in the movie itself, it just happens when they're like going home, and then like you forget all about it.
It has the same energy as when the Power Rangers movie, they play the Power Rangers theme for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Exact same energy.
Spirit! Let's go home, Nala. Okay, Spirit! And they're home.
No, am I wrong? Shadowland would have slotted right into this movie.
Yeah.
Shadowland, listeners, being a song from the Broadway play.
I haven't seen it in like 12 years, so I don't remember Shadowland.
It's the song Nala sings when she's leaving the Pride to go find Simba.
Yeah.
It's really
okay.
touching. They neutered Be Prepared.
Oh my god. Long, angry rant incoming.
Oh, give it to us. Give it to us.
Good god. Like, okay, first of all, this movie has this attitude where they're not allowed to do any fantasy lighting at all. Everything has to be photorealistic and realistically lit. So instead of these, like, ominous greens and these powerful reds and this, like, volcano erupting around Scar, now it's just he's singing in front of a bunch of hyenas and it's dark. Yippee.
Yeah, when you think Be Prepared, what color comes to your mind immediately?
Green.
Green.
Red.
Green, yes, red.
Yeah.
Yellow in the middle.
Yes.
When they're doing the Third Reich.
Yes.
But, they cut the song, too. Like, for some reason, they changed all the lyrics in the beginning. For some reason, they put the ending, like, my favorite lyrics, where it's, like, building and building and building. Meticulous planning, tenacity spanning, decades of... and then it builds up to be king undisputed, respected, saluted, and seen for the wonder I am.
Harry's getting into it.
They moved it to the middle. There's no crescendo on those lyrics. Those are some of my favorite Disney lyrics because the beats are so perfect for building tension, and instead of that, it ends on just be prepared, be prepared, be prepared, be prepared, be prepared,
See,
and then it's over. Why?
I don't really mind the song itself, like listening to it, like feels like almost propaganda-ish almost, like, and the hyenas going like, yeah, be prepared is like kind of cool, but in the movie itself it's like, I wish you'd done more with this.
He just kind of walks back and forth between the hyenas and says words.
Yeah.
And
I like the angle of like recruiting the hyenas with this song, but
it feels like he doesn't have a plan. Like the original, it was like he has this diabolical plan that is about to come to fruition, and in this one it was just like, we're gonna do this thing maybe, and then it's over.
Yeah. And like you say he doesn't have a plan. There is a song in The Lion Guard that Scar's ghost shows up, and basically he just says, I have a plan for like 5 minutes.
We gotta watch The Lion Guard. Okay, no, I saw a really good tweet about, I wish I had saved it so I could cite it, but about how, like, by not having, it's kind of weird that the hyenas aren't already allied with him, and then Shenzi, who's, like, the leader of the hyenas in this iteration, just kind of passes leadership over to him, and then it's dumb.
Yeah, like, they made Shenzi the sort of, like, queen bee of the hyenas, which is cool, but...
Yeah, it's accurate. Hyenas are a matriarchal society.
Yeah, but they, like, neuter a lot of her, like, comedy, too.
They spay it.
Yeah, there you go. Which is not too bad, because there's still, like, two other named hyena characters that are the comedy relief, but...
What are their names? It's not Bonsai and Ed, it's,
I don't know, it's like guy with a missing ear and whoever the other one is.
Yeah, Kamari and Azizi.
Kamari I only knew because that's a character from Final Fantasy X. Anyway.
And Azizi I knew because that's what the lion at our zoo is named.
Oh, neat.
Oh, okay.
So they gave them more African names, I guess, than Bonsai and Ed.
Yeah, Keegan-Michael Key and Eric Andre do the other hyenas.
And they're cute.
Be prepared! Be prepared!
Whoa.
Like Eric Andre.
Yeah.
Let me in! Let me in!
There was a comment on the YouTube video about this that I think perfectly summarizes it. It's like, the new version of the song is like, you're just waiting for Scar to break into song, and then it gets to the end and you're like, that's it?
Yeah.
It's like it's almost like they're ashamed of this song, and they like never really dig into it.
I kind of got the sense, because it was announced that this song was going to be cut.
Yeah.
I wonder if after the backlash they just kind of stuck it back in there.
Now they say that that's not what they did, that they always intended the song to be in there, but...
Bullshit. Finish your thought, Jason.
No, that's it.
Bullshit.
It's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. There's a lot of bleeps I'm gonna have to do.
Make sure that the bleeps are on tone with the singing editors,
Yes. Yeah,
whoever that is.
That's you this time.
That's
I think.
me.
Yes.
You're welcome, Jason. I also think that they butchered the stampede scene. Go ahead, finish your thought, Becca.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, I'm ragging on it. I did like this movie, but it does not hold a birthday candle to the original.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah, like...
Not even close.
What gets me about the stampede scene is, like, the opening, how it, in the animated movie, the original, how it, like, is just, like, this build-up where Simba just, you know, does a successful meow for the first... And you know what? I actually did like that Scar set up this is where lions come to find their roar.
Yeah,
so,
I actually liked that.
So, like, yeah, keep practicing here. I'm gonna go over here where it's safe.
Yeah, like, when I say they messed up the stampede scene, I mean the epic payoff of it. Like, the setup with cute cub Simba, like, meowing at the chameleon, they actually did a really good job with that. I liked it.
But, I even feel like the setup kind of missed the mark, too, because, like, in the original, you got, like, the echo, then you held on that for a little while, and then, like, there was this, like, rumbling, and, like, you saw them coming down the ravine, and, like, then you had this, like, dolly zoom of Simba going, and, like, that gives me shivers every time.
They cut
just
the
thinking
gasp.
about it.
Why?
Because lions don't gasp. Jon Favreau.
Well, still, you can do, like, a scene of, like, the cub being, like, terrified and not knowing what to do or something.
But he would have to emote.
Why would you cut the gasp note from the score? That's, like, the moment.
Because that would mean that it would betray Jon Favreau's amazing vision in his remake of the greatest movie of all time.
Can I complain about how the stampede in the gorge looks like maybe half as big as it does in the animated movie?
It does.
I don't know why. It's just, like, they don't do the low angles. They don't do the wide angle where you see, like, they skip the establishing shots. Why did they cut the shot of the wildebeest on the plain above the gorge?
The wildebeest in the Jungle Book looked like way more of a stampede than in The Lion King.
You know what?
Buffalo.
It's crazy. The 94 version, the wildebeest stampede feels endless. It's like fighting the sea with horns and hooves. And in this one, nah. You don't get that same... It's not the same.
No.
Like, you're right, it's like half the size.
Not only is it actually smaller, it's like they cut out the establishing shots that make it seem larger than life.
Yeah.
And you know what? There's a little bit of a plot discrepancy here, too, because it's the same thing. Scar leads them back to the gorge, and in this one, Zazu doesn't get knocked out. He goes, I'm gonna go back for help, and he actually does go back for help.
Right,
but then Scar says later, I only wish I'd made it to the gorge in time. And wait, Zazu, what? Zazu could be like, bullshit.
Maybe that's why Zazu is forced to stay away, but like, it's not like for... How long does it take for a lion cub to become an adult? How many years went by? 20 years.
I don't even know.
In the 20 years, Zazu couldn't have slipped a note to Sarabi or something? Like, hey,
Sarabi.
He's bullshitting,
You couldn't have made like a Zazu Tonight episode and...
Yeah.
been like, Scar is lying to you.
Zazu Tonight.
Tonight on the Morning Report tonight.
There you go. The Morning Report.
The Morning Report tonight.
Coups. A thing that you think of so little that you didn't realize that this isn't actually a picture of a coup, it's a picture of a hostile takeover. Boom! Okay. Yeah.
You know what? The voice cast was good.
It was good.
The voice cast was good, and I expected them to be.
Yeah.
They were fun.
Yeah. I did enjoy the voice acting.
The only original brought back was James Earl Jones as Mufasa.
Because he's the king.
He's the king.
You don't disrespect the king.
You don't disrespect
by
the king.
By casting another person.
Yeah.
Long live the king.
Alfre Woodard was a good choice for Sarabi.
Everyone was a good choice for who they were. Who's Alfre Woodard?
She was Aunt Josephine in a series of unfortunate events.
Oh, I love Zero. That's how you abbreviate that show.
I know her also from Luke Cage, where she plays one of the villains, and she's great there too.
Who did I like? I knew I would love Seth Rogen as Pumbaa.
Yeah, Timon and Pumbaa were fantastic. Credit.
When he was a young warthog.
When he was a young warthog!
He was a little baby warthog who was farting.
He was very cute.
He was so cute.
Look at the freaking mood whiplash.
Yeah.
By the way, their rendition of The Lion Sleeps Tonight, where it wasn't just like a throwaway scene, they actually went to the huge, like they actually did almost the full song. I loved it. It was so good.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
It was fun.
And really funny when like they cut it off.
Nala person.
Yeah.
They didn't do luau because that wouldn't have fit in this version.
Yeah.
What they did do was very cute.
I laughed. That was very funny.
I laughed too.
Yeah.
Not as good as Luau, but I laughed.
Yeah. I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Oh yeah, in the climax there was like this almost obligatory scene where like Nala and Shenzi like face off like, oh, I've been waiting for this my whole life. Like, really? Just because
they've been rivals. It's been firmly established that Sarami and Nala specifically are both girls.
Shenzi was like bullied her or almost ate her as like a little kid.
She also almost ate Simba.
Well, yeah. And it's like that one scene in Lion King 2 where like Vitani and Nala face off. Where's your pretty daughter, Nala? Vitani!
Yeah, that's weird too.
How do you know her name? She was a cub.
Yeah, she was a baby. Like, she should be no different than any other lion in this
So we meet at last, whoever you are.
Okay, well, clearly Nala has a lot of enemies.
Wow, Nala.
Nala has a shit list.
Well, she's voiced by Beyonce, so she has a lot of haters.
That's true. It's true. What else was okay or bad about this movie? The cloud scene?
Oh, yeah.
I was pretty okay with it.
I don't know.
It wasn't the best.
The face in the clouds is so iconic.
Yeah. Rafiki was kind of weird because he wasn't, like, as eccentric as he was.
No.
And, like, the stick, for some reason, was a huge reveal.
That means nothing to anyone who didn't see the
establish
original.
it. Why?
Yeah. Anyone who didn't see the 94 version has no idea what the that was.
Like,
Yeah.
and he didn't say it is time. I would have loved it if, like, as he passed his tree, he was like, it is time. And that's when he got the stick.
That actually would have been good.
That would've been good.
He just pulls out the stick and there's the camera like zooms in on it all loving and he's like, my old friend. I'm gonna kill so many hyenas with this.
Yeah. Having him speak, I'm sorry, I don't want to be racist. Having him speak, I'm sorry, I don't know what language he was speaking. I think they were trying to kind of emulate Rafiki in the Broadway show, I'm surprised they didn't make Rafiki a girl in this.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that they didn't.
They cast Black Panther's dad as Rafiki in this.
They did. Ooh. I'm surprised, because in the Broadway show, listeners, Rafiki is a female.
Yes.
And what with Disney making Ka a female in the Jungle Book, I'm really surprised that they didn't switch Rafiki.
Yeah.
So, but having him speak an African language, I feel like was trying to maybe evoke the Broadway version a little bit, but even the Broadway Rafiki, she's very fun and eccentric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She like comes out and like says this whole speech in African language and then ends it with, do you understand? And like the audience goes, no.
It's very good.
Yeah. It is kind of a bummer. It's almost like this movie felt like it was too good for silly moments, except for the Lion Sleeps
Absolutely.
Tonight.
Yeah, and even that,
Like, it didn't even have the squash banana.
yeah, no squash banana.
Yeah, they like took away Rafiki's whole personality.
Yeah,
Except for the stick.
except for the stick.
Which they treated with great reverence.
It didn't even have the gourds attached to it.
Yeah.
Garbage. Yeah, like there was humor. Like Zazu was funny. Timon and Pumbaa were funny.
Yeah.
The two new hyenas were funny. But yeah, there's no silliness.
Yeah. The one part I really laughed at probably wasn't even meant to be funny. It's like the scene where the vultures are starting to eat Simba, and then like you cut to Pumbaa like charging, and it reminded me of the scene where like Lancelot and Monty Python and the Holy Grail like charges at the the castles, the swamp castle, and like they keep cutting to him, and he like keeps resetting.
That was silly. What did those vultures do to you, Pumbaa?
What did the vultures do?
They were bad Beatles impersonators.
Yikes. They were, there was more fart jokes in this one.
Every time that I farted, are you gonna stop me?
No, you disgust me. That was silly. I like that.
Oh,
This movie had no silliness. However, let me list what was silly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing that bothered me is that the choreography, if you will, is just like the characters moving from like left to right on the camera or something like that.
Yeah. That... I'll let you elaborate on it first, because I have a big rant coming.
No, like every song, like Kuna Matata, like when Simba ages up and he's Childish Gambino now.
Yeah. They just kind of walk through
Like,
the
they just
jungle.
kind of walk, and then in Can You Feel the Love Tonight, him and Nala are just kind of running. And then, like, in I Can't Wait to Be King...
You mean Can You Feel the Love This Afternoon in a brightly lit area?
Well, to be fair, the animated movie was mostly in the late afternoon, too. But
It
then
was
they
nighttime by the end.
transitioned into nighttime. They never transitioned into nighttime in the,
Yeah,
in
it
the
looked like
new
it was
one.
still broad daylight for the entire song.
Can you feel the love this late afternoon?
Can't Wait to Be King had a lot of cute baby animals in it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually did like I Can't Wait to Be King. That is a song that I was expecting to not translate very well to this movie. Surprisingly, it was one of the better ones.
They did all right.
Yeah, they did all right.
Yeah.
Elton John did a new song, which is way better than Spirit.
Yeah, it was over the credits. I don't remember a word of it.
I love Elton John.
That's fine. You're valid. I'm just saying I don't remember it.
It's never too late.
Can't Wait to Be King was like the one song where they had a little bit more fun with it, I think.
Yeah.
The part of the movie that I liked a lot was the cute baby animals. Like,
Yeah. You had a rant about the choreography.
Okay, so here's my deal. This movie, I feel like it fundamentally did not understand how to, like, okay, it tried to be the original movie so much that it didn't translate well to live action. Like, okay, like, they know that you have to be live action, so you have to have these photorealistic animals, and then they don't know what to do with the photorealistic animals. So that's all you get is you're distracted. Like, you see these animals doing animal things, and it doesn't really set up the shots to emphasize the emotion, so it's distracting.
Yeah.
And it's kind of boring, you know? It's not even a nature documentary where you're watching animals do interesting things. It's just, okay, here's the photorealistic lion going back and forth.
There's a great video of someone who, like, 2 years ago when this was announced, just put clips of the original, like, animated audio over, like, National Geographic clips.
It's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Something about, like, the fact that it looked so realistic that you could almost have passed it off as a documentary, but was filmed, like, cinematographically,
Yeah.
like a movie, was kind of clashy to me. Like, you wouldn't get that kind of angle on an animal.
Yeah.
And it's still... Oh, okay. I'm really, really picky with realistic CGI. I find we haven't nailed it yet. Everything looks... Like, the lions in this movie should be, like, 500 pounds, but sometimes they look like they're only 50.
Yeah.
Some shots are very, very good. Some shots aren't.
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion. Fight me.
The main problem I have with CGI here is that there was a lack of artistic vision with how to use it. So,
Yeah.
we talked about the Broadway show. That is a prime example of how you translate something from one medium to the other. Broadway
Absolutely.
is a medium that you love, like big dances and big set pieces. And so, like, the way that they accomplish the sweeping environmental feel in the Broadway show is by having all these group dances and completely not related to the plot, just going where, like, there's a group of people dressed in scenery establishing outfits doing African dances. And so it feels like it translates into the Broadway medium because they're using the things that Broadway is good at to emphasize the emotions in the same way that animation did what it is good at. This movie did not do what live action is good at.
I know what it is. My hand is raised. There's no subtlety. Because there's no facial expressions.
Yeah.
Right? Am I right? Did I correct?
Yes, you
But
correct.
what was your thought? Sorry.
Yeah, I'd say that that's part of it. But, you know, like, you could translate this into a live action movie, but you would have to not stick so rigorously to the original story because there's
That's
a lot
true,
of
too.
stuff that, you know, like, again, animation is abstracted, so you need, like, exaggerated lighting, exaggerated posing, exaggerated camera work, where this movie didn't have any of those exaggerated features because, again, it's live action, it's too good for the cartoony stuff, but they didn't change the story at all. Or, you know, the pacing at all. They
the
just
pacing was weird.
Mm.
Yeah, that's not just... Yeah.
mhm.
Do you agree, Carrie? The pacing was kind of weird at times.
Yeah, like...
Yeah.
There's one, okay, I want to talk about one shot in particular at the beginning. This is an excellent example of how you can use the medium and then how they failed at it. The shot of the mouse going up to Scar's cave.
Oh, yeah.
That was a beautiful live action shot, almost like, you know, nature documentary. You're like, oh wow, this is like so much bigger and more interesting in live action. But then they did not use it to get the same bam emotion when he slaps his paw down. So it's like, they had a chance to do something that would emotionally resonate, and then it's like they didn't. They just
he just kind of creeps out of the shadows, right? Yeah.
And is like, oh, hello, my little friend.
Shut up.
Yeah. They just didn't know how to take this amazing opportunity of live action and translate it emotionally. Like, it just didn't have the same emotional resonance, and it could have, and it should have, but it's, I don't know. I just felt that lack of artistic vision and ability to translate through the entire thing. It felt like, I don't know.
The whole movie felt neutered.
Yes.
Like a lion with no balls.
They didn't have any balls.
It's true.
Yeah,
Cowardly Disney.
Yes, none of the animals had genitals in this movie.
I think of the difference between like this movie and something like Mowgli. The what's his name?
The Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis. How could I forget Andy Serkis? The Andy Serkis version of Jungle Book that had way more like realistic. Well, not realistic, but like human emotion in the animal faces. Like the animals straight up look like humans, and it's a little weird at first, but then when you get into it, you don't even really care.
Have you watched it yet, Carrie?
Yes, I have seen the one of the OG Disney live action adaptations.
No, we're talking about a recent Netflix exclusive directed by Andy Serkis.
No, I haven't
seen
out
like last winter.
I thought you were talking about the Jungle Book Disney.
Like the 94 movie?
No, not the 94 movie.
No.
I watched that when I was 9 and it was bad.
No.
I like that movie.
Oh man, we Jason, I think you had talked once. We got to do an episode where we compare all versions of the Jungle Book.
Yeah, because there's a lot.
But back for a second. So the Andy Serkis version, Andy Serkis is the mocap guy. So all the animals are mocapped, and their faces they're strange. There's something human-like about them. And they're kind of weird to look at, but by God, at least they emote.
Yeah, they emote. Even in, like, the more realistic Jungle Book, the animals emote it more, I feel.
The Disney Jungle
Book.
Book.
There was a lot of Bill Murray in Baloo.
Yeah.
And, like, he had a wide range of emotions.
Yeah.
And Christopher Walken I feel like they just slapped his face on King Louie.
See, you can do, like, animal expressions. Like, I mean, what do cats look like when they're frightened? You can see them hunch back and like their eyes open wide, and I don't feel like they quite. I feel like that's what they were trying for, but they didn't do it very well.
What do cats look like when they frighten us? See the Cats trailer.
My favorite thing about the Cats trailer is how much Lindsay Ellis loved it.
Oh, you know what? I'm on her side. Now, okay, we gotta take the opportunity now, because it's not animated, so we can't talk about it later.
Yes.
No, it's not. It's people.
Well, it's people, but it's like CGI cat bodies and...
I think they were just in costume with CGI touch-ups.
No. It feels like straight up like mocap
Carrie, what's your verdict?
Okay, so you know that rant that I went on during The Lion King about diegesis, where it's like, this feels like people should not be singing because it's too realistic. Cats is not going to have that problem. This is like silly and campy, and like the music is actually going to fit because it looks ridiculous. And
ooh, I know how we can talk about Cats. It was going to be an animated movie.
Yeah,
really?
With
Steven Spielberg.
With designs by Nico Marlet. Have you never seen that?
Okay, yeah, I think I do recall seeing that on Facebook a few days ago.
All right, before we get too off track, final thoughts on Lion King, the new one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I was mixed on it. There were some scenes that I loved, a lot of scenes that I absolute hated and felt like they butchered. As a whole, it's fine.
It's fine.
Like, as far as these live action, quote-unquote, remakes go, I don't think this is the worst. But
it's certainly not the best.
Yeah, it's not the best either. The best is still Jungle Book.
This is actually a discussion that I wanted to have, is what do you think in terms of the ones, like, there's been a few of these live-action adaptations that completely changed the original story and made it its own thing, versus ones that stick tightly to the original movie, like this one and Aladdin and Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast. I'm kind of curious what you think, like... Do you think it's better or worse when they, like, really change the story?
I honestly think it's better when they go for a different approach.
But like, then you get Maleficent.
Well, Maleficent sucks. But, like, the thing with the really like straight-laced versions like Cinderella and Aladdin, you can have a 1-to-1 comparison. Like you can see how better things are in animation. Yeah.
You know what? That's what I wanted to say. If Lion King 94 hadn't have existed, Lion King 2019, we would have been a lot more generous on it, I think.
Maybe.
Yeah, most likely.
Most likely.
To certain things. But yeah, like that's why I didn't really mind Dumbo so much. At least it was different. And Jungle Book is still the best remake.
Agreed. That's my favorite so far.
Yeah, Jungle Book is still my favorite as well. Dumbo was interesting, but I still maintain that it was bad interesting.
I take back my answer. My favorite is the Glenn Close 101 Dalmatians.
That one was good.
Okay, listen, back when I was a kid and was buck wild for the Lion King, after my Lion King phase was my 101 Dalmatian phase. Like, Jason, you've seen all my Lion King plushies. I have a bunch of Dalmatian plushies, too.
Like, get that Emma Stone Cruella de Vil prequel out of my house. I only care about Glenn Close.
Get that thing back where it came from. I don't want it.
Man, I haven't seen that movie since it came out in like 96. I need to.
It clears up. It clears it up. It clears up why she had to skin puppies and not adult dogs, because their fur is softer.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, you know how like all the Disney remakes are trying to like correct mistakes, quote unquote?
Glenn Close did it.
Glenn Close, the only mistake they correct is the reason why she kills puppies, and even then it's not like justifying her character.
She's like asking Anita, like she's looking at the puppy, long hair or short? Short, coarse or fine? I'm afraid it is a little coarse, pity, but it was very fine when she was a puppy.
Ah, okay.
See how I remember
if we
that?
make this coat, it would like I was wearing your dog.
See how I remember that line when I haven't watched that movie since probably 1999? I didn't understand it as a kid, but one day I was like it just clicked. Like an epiphany. Like, oh, coarse or fine.
I just remember Glenn Close, like, laughing in this super campy, woof,
Oh, yeah. She's great. I will not hear a bad word against Glenn Close's Cruella de Vil.
Glenn Close was also Auntie Kala from
of course.
Tarzan.
Glenn Close is
Fight
classic.
me, Internet. Tarzan's a good movie. I don't think a lot of people like it.
Tarzan's
What? The internet thinks that Tarzan isn't a good movie?
I feel like people don't like Phil Collins, so they don't like Tarzan.
I love the songs in that movie. I don't like Phil
love that
Collins,
movie.
but I like the songs in that movie.
What?
Whoa.
You don't like Phil Collins?
What's wrong with him? Is he problematic?
No, like... that I'm aware of?
You don't like Genesis?
You can't Philip Collins in the air tonight?
No,
Oh, Lord.
No, I retract everything that I just said. This isn't important.
Ah, no, Carrie.
Phil Collins has an invisible touch.
We're razzing you. We're razzing you. I don't care.
Yeah.
I also like Brother Bear.
These things hurt me, and I'm
Carrie,
just gonna
no.
go sleep down into my chair and feel sick.
Carrie, no!
Carrie, it's not like you said Elton John is bad.
No, Elton John is the best. Fight me.
Thank
Okay,
you.
okay, it's all good.
We can be
all
friends
is
again.
Well. All is well in Destination
That was a test, Carrie. Anyway.
Are we wrapping up? Are we done?
Well, let's briefly discuss the news.
Oh yeah, there was some news. That's the way the news goes. So, San Diego Comic-Con, is it still happening or has it?
It's done, I think.
It's done. So we got some news out of that.
Some
Some news.
Some news.
First of all, the biggest news, the best news, is the trailer for the Steven Universe movie.
Yes.
Oh my god, I want it.
What's the release date? Is it September 3rd?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, like
September
early
this year.
September. So we might have another episode or two in between, but we're definitely doing an episode on that, people. I wish
Hell
it got
yeah.
a theatrical release.
Yeah.
I really do. If Teen Titans Go can get one.
Yeah. One note, Steven has a neck now, and that's weird.
He has a neck.
He's got a neck.
XJ9 is very upset, apparently.
Yeah, the villain of this movie apparently looks exactly like XJ9 from My Life as a Teenage Robot.
Only
Yes.
pinked and stretchy.
Yeah, like robotic pigtails.
Yeah.
Very good. I'm excited. It's going to be a musical. It's going to be awesome. I'm excited to see, like, it's like a 2 years ahead time skip. That's why Steven has a neck.
Yeah, I called the
Yeah,
time
he
skip.
actually sounds like a teenager now.
I called the time skip.
Good. I'm excited, and I'm excited to see where the series goes from here.
Yeah.
Cause the last episode, when was that? January?
Yeah, something like that.
Like, the last episodes, that was, like, the end of Rebecca Sugar's original plan for the Steven Universe story, so where they go from here, we'll have to wait and see.
Is the movie
Yeah.
the finale?
I don't think so.
No, I think we still have a season 6, right?
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
that's
we
true.
do, yeah.
I got a lot of feels from watching the movie and doing, like, there's the shots, Earth deserves protecting, and it's these serene shots and this ukulele music playing, and I just got all the feels. I love it.
Steven Universe, the show is very pro-Earth and life and individuality. It's very good.
Yes.
We love Steven Universe on this podcast, if that wasn't clear.
Yes.
More news. Rocko's Modern Life Netflix movie announced.
Yeah, there's 2 Netflix movies coming out of classic Nickelodeon shows, Rocko's Modern Life and Invader Zim.
That one was announced previously, but we've got a release date now.
Yes, now we have a release date. Well, Rocko's Modern Life was previously announced also.
Oh, had it been? Okay, I didn't realize. It was the first trailer, right?
Yeah, it was the first trailer. Like, Rocko's Modern Life didn't get as much buzz because the internet is head and heels over Invader Zim, where Rocko's Modern Life is like, oh yeah, I saw that show.
Yeah, so that's cool. I didn't watch either shows.
I watched Invader Zim.
Yeah,
I
saw a little bit of it. Okay, how do you? Carrie, Jungle movie happened, didn't it?
Yeah, the Hey Arnold Jungle movie, which I still haven't watched and need to because Hey Arnold was one of my favorite shows.
Jason, I told you dropped that. Sorry. Playing with a ball. Sorry.
I'm very easily distracted. Anyway.
I told him he'd drop it and make noise. Sorry. So what are your thoughts on these 2 upcoming films?
Rocko's Modern Life looks amazing, shockingly. Like, they kept the original animation style, which is very tilted and very, like, exaggerated cartoony. I'm so glad they kept the exact same animation style. It actually looks great.
Nice.
It's very classic Nickelodeon's 90s. Because even, like, SpongeBob had that same kind of look in the first season.
It did.
Yeah. For those who aren't familiar with Rocko's Modern Life, Joe Murray, who worked on the show, actually was the first one to give, like, a major directing credit to Steven Hillenburg, who would go on to create SpongeBob. And a lot of the humor in Rocko is very similar to early SpongeBob. It's kind of, like, absurdist and, you know, these wacky characters bouncing off of each other and hilarity happens. Also, Rocko's Modern Life is kind of famous for innuendo. I don't know if they're going to keep doing that, but
they probably
I'm sure
will.
They will.
They have way more freedom on Netflix.
That's true.
Yeah, like, if you haven't seen Rocko's Modern Life since you were, like, 10, watch it, and you'll be like, how the heck did they get that past the censors?
Like the choky chicken. Invader Zim, I know that the internet, that the world, that Hot Topic was bonkers for the show when it was on. So.
And Gurr especially.
You dare question the superiority of Zim!
A lot of really weird, like, disgusting humor that was actually funny.
Yeah. Gurr. I know about Gurr.
I'm gonna sing a doom song now. Doom, 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 doom.
Yeah. What's his name? Richard something?
Richard Horvitz.
Richard Horvitz is having a comeback for all of his classic characters recently.
Heck yeah. Psychonauts 2.
All we need is, like, a Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy reboot.
It could happen. Infinity Train. Cartoon Network, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Cartoon Network.
New miniseries from Cartoon Network.
Is it a miniseries?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, apparently it is.
Only 10 episodes released, like, 2 a night, like, over the garden wall. This was always the creator's intent, so it's not bad.
That's good.
Okay.
Cartoon Network, they kill it with their miniseries, so I'm not even mad.
They
like,
really
even when Adventure Time, which was a long-running show, would do some miniseries, like, towards the end.
Yeah, they were all really good.
Yeah, it was all really, really good. Who created this?
What's his name?
Cole Sanchez?
Owen Dennis.
Owen Dennis. I only recognize the name Cole Sanchez because he worked on Adventure Time. Owen Dennis, eh?
I'm pretty sure he was one of the... he must have had his hand in a couple Cartoon Network shows.
Looks like he worked on regular show.
Yeah, regular show.
So yeah, the first episode dropped. I like it so far.
Yes.
It's pretty good.
For those who haven't seen it, it is available for free on the Cartoon Network website.
If you're American or have a VPN.
Oh, shoot.
I don't have a VPN. What are you talking about?
It's not.
I don't get to enjoy all the comforts of America while I'm in Canada.
Yeah, they can. This is a show they can really do anything with. I'm eager to see what they do. I like those monster things.
Oh yeah,
I really thought I thought
they were creepy.
Cool. I like them.
Cockroach-looking things.
Yeah, I also really like the main character. She's like a 13-year-old nerdy computer programmer who solves things with logic, and I really liked her character.
She's Ashley Johnson.
She's great.
I love Ashley Johnson.
She's cool.
Last of Us Part 2 coming out soon. Anyway.
And Recess was also a cool show.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Heck
robot. Yeah.
Yeah, a little robot.
Yeah, the happy and sad robot is very funny.
Kind of reminds me of
Wheatley.
Not Wheatley. What's his name? Marvin from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh.
Anyone familiar?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought of
I
like
know what
the
you're talking
little
about.
core personalities from
Alan
Portal.
Alan Rickman played him in the
Oh
movie.
yeah.
But he was really depressed. It kind of reminded me of that. But you're right. He's kind of like the chorus from Portal too.
Yeah.
Not much to say. I'm sure we'll do an episode on it once all the episodes are out.
That drops officially between August, is it 4th and the 9th?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, 2 episodes per night.
That might even be our next episode, listeners.
Yes.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Oh, I forgot a piece of news. The Owl House opening
Owl
theme
House.
dropped.
That tasty
It looks
animation.
amazing.
That like the fluidity of the animation, like I thought James Baxter did it, but it was a bunch of people.
Oh my god. I am so hungry for Owl House, people.
It's everything she loves.
It's everything I love. I want it so
It's
bad.
got owls, it's got a Cubone.
It's got a Cubone, it's got a girl protagonist, it's got an old witch who's gonna be goals once I watch it.
Hey, old witch.
Yeah, the show was made specifically for Bex.
It is. Thank you, Dana Terrence. Thank you.
Dana Terrence. Finally getting time to shine.
Finally, yeah. Her art is cool.
It is cool. And she's Alex Hirsch's partner or
Yeah,
girlfriend.
yeah.
I don't know what they call each other.
I think Alex Hirsch is her partner.
There you go.
Yeah, not a lot to say, just that the intro dropped and I'm excited for it. It doesn't have a release date yet. 2020, I think, is still the
Yeah,
plan.
2020.
So there's one last piece of news.
And it's sad.
It sucks.
And it sucks.
It sounds more somber than it actually is. We didn't get around to talking about Tuca and Birdie yet. I'd still like to do an episode on it.
Oh yeah.
But Netflix has opted to not renew it for a second season. That's a tragedy, and I'm mad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Take to Twitter, hashtag renew Tuca and Birdie, and scream about it.
Scream about it.
Scream about it.
And also ponder the company that made it got unionized, and Netflix may be a little bit mad about that, and they're getting back at them in some way. But I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
Was it the same animation studio?
Yeah, the Toronto.
I think you're right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there was a whole movement the past few months to unionize the crew of BoJack. And I guess, yeah, if it was the same studio, then yeah, they got unionized and Netflix didn't like it.
Yeah.
They didn't like it.
But let's not get into the politics of it. Let's just talk about how the fact that a woman's created centric adult animated show that was
really funny.
Really
and really
funny.
off the rails.
really off the really important. There was no other show like it. Like, it was hilarious. It was beautiful.
Right out the gate, it was hilarious.
Right
It really
out the
has
gate.
a unique visual style, too.
Have you looked at Lisa Hannah Walt's art?
She's awesome. Yeah.
She's awesome.
And a friend of mine did the opening credits and storyboards and such.
Nice.
Yeah, she has a really distinct visual style where it's like flowery almost. You know, I don't know how to describe it.
She was the character designer on BoJack.
Mm-hmm.
And she's really cool. And I want her to get a second season if that's what she wants. And, like, yeah.
Yeah, like somebody, Hulu or Amazon Prime or somebody.
Maximum Fun.
Maximum
She
Fun.
does a podcast on Max Fun. Max Fun, open an animation division.
Oh, there you go. That would be cool.
That would be cool. That'd be amazing. Yeah, it sucks. We'll talk more about Tuca and Birdie when we do an episode proper, but there's no other show like it, not just in the sense that it was wacky, but in the sense that it gave a perspective on women that was more real and gritty and gross and genuine.
Yeah.
You sadly really don't see a lot of like good dramas about like 30-something women dealing with life.
Yeah.
It also addressed like sexual assault in a very real way.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like an over dramatized way. It was just like life is still happening and this happened and you know.
Yeah, without getting too into it, we'll talk about it when we do an episode.
And
But
Tuca and Birdie were such good characters. All of them were good characters.
Everyone, Speckles.
And like Speckle and like BoJack Horseman is very funny and very deep, but like it's more a realistic take on anthropomorphized characters. Like Tuca and Birdie is just wild.
There's plant people.
Plant people.
And sometimes objects, and they make light of that
and like
at one
a
point.
boob could just straight up walk away.
A boob can be like, I'm done with this.
Yeah, there's a
And
lot
it's
of
great,
fun.
though.
There's a lot of fun absurdism.
And it's a lot like there's a lot of good tweets, like from what's the name of the BoJack creator? Ralph.
Raphael Bob Waxberg.
Yeah, he made a really, really nice Twitter thread. I should link
He
you guys
did.
to. Yeah, about like really putting all of your heart into a work and making yourself vulnerable, and like this was Lisa Hannah Walt's heart.
It was.
And it's a tragedy that it got canceled.
It is.
Yeah. And it just came out 2 months ago.
A couple months ago, yeah.
Yeah.
It's, like, shows don't get canceled after one season anymore.
No.
It's not, like, it's...
What are you, Comedy Central?
Whoa!
I don't really have a beef against Comedy Central. I was just...
Yeah, no, like, it's...
Cable TV.
Like, typically, especially with Netflix, it's like, 3-season order.
Yeah.
60 episodes. Like, and
Even if they
animation,
hit
too.
it. Yeah.
Animation, too, doesn't get canceled.
They didn't
It's-
even cancel House of Cards after Kevin Spacey, got fired.
Yeah, it's weird, and there might be some going on behind the scenes. We're not here to speculate on that anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. It is just very sad that this was not given a better chance.
Yeah. Hopefully it gets new life, but if it doesn't, at least it ended,
At least-
in a good space.
Yeah, at least it still exists,
Yeah, it still exists in
it's
our
imp-
hearts. We'll
it-
probably buy it on DVD.
Yeah, for sure. No, so, yes, that's the thing to do.
Buy it on DVD because digital media can just go
Yeah, if there's any merch of this, buy it. That's the best way to support a show, is, like, buy any DVD release that happens. If Funko Pops happen, buy those. Beg Funko to make merchandise. Funko is the one who does all the Netflix deals. They have BoJack Funkos. I like Funkos.
You think all your digital movies are safe? Think again. Buy physical.
Buy physical. I think that's about it then, huh?
Yeah.
What comes after? What comes after the concession stand, the trailers, the short, the double feature, the newsreel?
You go to the bathroom and then you leave.
I already
Ending
went to the bathroom.
credits.
The ending credits. Okay, so
Oh yeah, so
And it
that
was
thing we do.
Pixar bloopers.
yeah, they haven't done bloopers in a while, huh?
No.
No, they only did it for 2 movies, actually, but...
I have been thinking a lot lately about how the
3.
bloopers for Toy Story 2 killed me.
They actually edited out one of the bloopers from Toy Story 2.
What? Which one?
The prospector talking to the Barbies and saying, "Oh, I can get you a part in Toy Story 3."
Yikes! All right, so this has been Destination Animation. I'm Becca McGraw.
Yeah, Stinky Pete going all Harvey Weinstein.
No, Becca McGraw is me. Find my stuff at Rebexorcist.com.
I'm Jason Knott. You can find some of my stuff on whatever reviews at Blogger.
And I'm Carrie Dreblo. You can find me on YouTube at Animation Critic, all one word, Cheetah King 243, also on YouTube. I don't have any personal PSAs. I'm lazy.
Aren't we all? I'm hungry.
Yeah, let's go eat. Mitch, play us out. I'm hungry.
Food!
Oh yeah, I don't have to press stop because
Yeah, 'cause I'm
Slimy yet satisfying food. Okay, I gotta close out of my Frederick Nietzsche Google search. GG!
Gigi.
GG.
Gigi.
Gingy.
Oh, Gigi.
Fire up the ovens, Muffin Man. We got a big order to fill.
Sorry, I probably just maxed out my microphone because my cat jumped up on the shelf and pulled down a box of magic cards, and I barely caught her in mid-air before she destroyed my...
Wow.
Oh, it's sorry. It's a funny mental.
It's a good image.
I weep for your loss, but it's a funny mental image.
It is.
No, the cards stayed on the shelf. I saw her about to pull them down. I got my hand out and stopped her. But in any case,
You should make her own deck of garbage cards to play with, because she keeps trying to play with yours.
Yeah.
yes. The kitty wants attention.
Throw her outside. Don't actually put your cats outside, folks.
No.
This is not that kind of podcast, but don't you do it.
I also wouldn't put them in my bedroom or anything. They would be there and they'd meow because they want me and they're friends.
Aw.
It's like they don't want immediate attention. They just want to be in the same vicinity because we love each other. And yeah,
I think this is what Kitbull was about.
Yeah, exactly. This would be a good time to do our sponsors, but we don't have a sponsor. Hey, sponsors out there.
Destination Animation is brought to you by nobody. Us. We do
And
this.
viewers like you. Thank you.
Thanks to the financial support of viewers like you. Thank you. And by the Corporation for Public Broadcast.
Yeah, I always wondered as a kid why they played those, but like now I know. Oh, because like they have to list their sponsors because like they're publicly funded and such.
Yep.
Well, that's why it's called public service broadcast.
And now our lawmakers want to defund it for reasons.
For reasons, because they're old, crusty, and they rant was censored for being too political.
Like, they did actually do filming on... Ow! Gigi!
They filmed on Gigi?
They filmed on Gigi.
No, they filmed on Ow, Gigi.
The faraway country of Ao Gigi. Sorry, my cat was, like, getting in the way, and I was trying to shoo her away, and she, like, snatched my thumb in her claws. Bad kitty.
Bad kitty.
Julie Taymor. Julie Taymor, Julie Taymor.
Julie Taymor, night and day, it's Julie Taymor.
I don't know what she did, but I remember seeing her name in the credits.
Make the Spider-Man, watch the...
Yeah, she probably would rather forget Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark, but...
She did that?
Yes.
Yes.
Radioactive.
I forgot that was for that.
That's what I was told. I don't even know if it's true.
No, I think that actually is true. That,
nice.
Like, yeah. Like,
that was
eventually...
like a concept album.
Eventually, Bono's the one that wrote the songs, but yeah, they had other musical people.
I'm learning a lot today, you guys. But let's talk about The Lion King again.
Gigi, why are you being such a brat today, cat?
Gigi Penderson.
T.J. Henderson.
I said Gigi Penderson.
You did.
I need to use her full name. Lady Gigiamus Minimus Fuzzicus.
You're a nerd, Carrie. You're a real nerd, you know that?